Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to follow up with a comment that I received from one of our members here on this platform. And that was about narcissists having feelings for empaths. What's difficult for empaths to understand is that their feelings are not in the same way that an empath would have feelings. So usually when we discuss, our emotions, it's something that is quite strong, it's intense, the feeling lingers. We'll say, that happiness that I felt, when I woke up, it just lingered all day. So emotions are more intense and feelings just tend to be more ongoing and it lingers, yeah? So do narcissists feel? Yes, well, of course they feel. We know they feel rage. We know they feel frustration. We know they feel depressed. We know they can feel happy. We know they can, feel a lot of things. What it is, it's that depth. It's how long that lingers for. So with empaths, we're seeing it through our eyes. We have so much in common. We shared so much. It was special. The narcissist also can feel that. They can feel that it's special. But remember, we're dealing with different constructs now. We're dealing with people who are extremely slighted. Right? They're slighted at the smallest thing that you may say to them. Now, as soon as that happens and they perceive it as a criticism, their fear is also telling them abandonment. Now, they're not going to possibly register that as abandonment, but they are definitely going to see it as you betraying them or you going against them. And when that happens, that's when the going gets tough and the tough get going. And we cannot sit down with them to have a conversation because usually by the time we have injured them, right, by the time an empath has either spoken their truth or said to them, look, I'd really like to see this happening in the relationship, or how about we set some goals, or whatever it is that is you saying to them and then perceiving I'm not good enough, then this is when we start to see them retracting. Now, relationships are always going to have an element of conflict, of course. And this is why we say, the success of a relationship is not how how well things are going when there's no conflict, but more how do we handle conflict? How do we manage conflict? How do couples start to, sit down and learn some of those conflict management skills, learn to have those difficult conversations? Now that determines the success of a relationship. But if you are expecting a narcissist to, and I'm talking, people very low empathy here and possibly even low conscience. Of course, now we're going more into sociopathy, psychopathy. But, we need to understand that they feel justified in doing whatever they're going to do to hurt the relationship because you have done something to them. And this is where it gets very difficult. Also, I've discussed they don't have object permanency, right? So out of sight, out of mind. It's not that you don't come back into their mind after they've gone off, with, a new shiny toy. They do. But they're going to have to start lying, covering it up. Now we've got, people who, they're split with where they're going to give their attention. They're going to give it to the shiniest toy. It's a bit like a child. You buy a child, they have their favourite toy, then in comes a new one. So that toy gets pushed aside and they play with the brand new toy. Well, that's no different here. And by the time the narcissist is caught up and possibly the shiny new toy wasn't shiny anymore, well, the supply that their main person has either had enough, has woken up, and has said goodbye, or there's just been too much conflict that's occurred and they don't want to fess up to the fact that they've been having an affair, and not just with one other person many times. So does the narcissist have feelings? Of course they do. And there are certain empaths that narcissists do not forget very easily. And that's really determined by the amount of emotion that was raised by both people. So, and of course, there's all of that lust. So narcissists do feel, yes, they do. But they can also feel very happy when they've hurt you. And this is the problem we now have. So their feelings can turn to an obsession. It's about control. Now, once they then get you back, and they've realised that they made a big mistake in thinking that you would have hung around or they could have done whatever they did to you, well, they'll try to lure you back in. But remember, they've seen it as a betrayal, that you even, left them in the first place, that you didn't hang around while they went off and had their fun. And this is where we have so many problems now. And so empaths will usually, during early days until they learn their lesson, will just keep going back. But, that cycle repeats faster. It just repeats faster. Narcissists do not like being shown up in any way. They see it that you have betrayed them. Rejection is seen as betrayal as well. They do not look at what they've done. What did I do to create this? They don't often even have the emotional language or literacy or confidence to come and talk to you. So this is where now love versus pride. And they become prideful because it makes them feel intact. This is what's giving them their confidence. So you're not going to get that consistency, as I've said. Narcissists do not become obsessed with, all people, all empaths, no. And all empaths don't become obsessed with all narcissists either. But you will come across certain ones that are more difficult to remove yourself from. Now, I do hope that today's helped, but we do need to understand that when you are trying to understand why the narcissist has done what they've done and that you would not have done this, it is because of this internal operation system that is going on. It is very different. A person who lacks empathy or has zero empathy, they are going to do very, very different things. And remember, it's about pride, and remember, it's about their image control. Remember, this is what is keeping them afloat. What other people think of them. And this is why we need to be very careful with whom we associate with. Because, it's not just a matter of breaking up or having to go in and forgive someone or forgive yourself, and then we say, okay, so let's start, where are we going to work now, things together. It doesn't often happen that way. Can couples work through problems? Yes, and I've said this many times, they can. And it's wonderful to see when it does happen. It can take a while, but it's though two people really wanting the relationship to work, having the empathy, the understanding, and then we can start to see movement forward. But this is not what you get when someone is high on the continuum and very low in empathy and sadly low in conscience. They know what they're doing is wrong, but they have to hide it. And they want to hurt you. They can't control you, so they will want to hurt you. Now, I do hope that today has helped. Let me know your thoughts. Take lots of care and have an amazing Sunday.